Hey, church family, welcome to day 71 of our Going Through the Psalms series. Day 71 means Psalm 71. We're going to read the first 11 verses here. As we go through them, I want you to consider just one question in your heart. Where do you turn for refuge in times of trouble and fear? Where do you turn for refuge in times of trouble and fear? Let's read Psalm 71. 11 verses of Psalm 71. In you, O Lord, do I take refuge. Let me never be put to shame. In your righteousness, deliver me and rescue me. Incline your ear to me and save me. Be to me a rock of refuge to which I may continually come. You have given the command to save me, for you are my rock and my fortress. Rescue me, O my God, and from the hand of the wicked, from the grasp of the unjust and cruel man. For you, O Lord, are my hope. My trust, O Lord, from my youth. Upon you I have leaned from before my birth. You are he who took me from my mother's womb. My praise is continually of you. I have been as a portent for many, but you are my strong refuge. My mouth is filled with your praise. Do not cast me off in the time of old age. Forsake me not when my strength is spent. For my enemies speak concerning me. Those who watch for my life consult together and say, God has forsaken him. Pursue and seize him, for there is none to deliver him. Now, those are only the first 11 verses. After this, the psalm goes on to continue to praise and express the psalmist's confidence in the Lord. But because we only have a little bit of time, I want to just draw out a few things from these first 11 verses. And the first thing I noticed is the psalmist's confidence in God and who he is. Now remember this question that we were considering, where do I turn for refuge in times of trouble, is a rather personal question. When things go wrong, when you are fearful and laid low, where do you flee? Where do you turn for help? And this psalm, Psalm 71, points us to the only one capable of giving us true comfort, reassurance, safety, protection, and hope. Look at the confidence with which the psalmist speaks about the Lord. It's in God that the psalmist takes refuge. God will deliver him and rescue him. He turns to him to be saved because he's already given the command to save him. He trusts that the Lord is his hope. He is his trust. And even more so, he talks about his mouth being filled with his praise and God's glory being on his lips all the day long. Now, this confidence with which the psalmist speaks of the Lord isn't automatic. If you're a Christian, I'm sure that you can think of times where it was maybe intellectually clear to you that God was your refuge, but your experience of reality didn't quite match up with this theological truth. We feel sometimes a disconnect and don't know how to overcome it, and we can often despair, right? That we don't fully believe that God is our refuge. And friend, turning to God to be our hope is a habit formed over a lifetime of following Jesus. Look at the language of life here. The psalmist says that it's from his youth that he's trusted in the Lord. He's leaned on him before his birth. The Lord has taken him from his mother's womb. So from the beginning of his life, he knows the Lord all the way until the end. He says to the Lord, don't cast me off when my strength is spent. Following Jesus is a lifelong endeavor. We're playing the long game here. In this psalm, we get the picture of a God who cares for us from womb to tomb. From our very beginning to our very end, God is present, active, and working for his glory and for our good. Friend, if you are a Christian, God has already given the command to save you. His word has gone out and it will not return void. You are precious in God's sight, and you are personally known by the Creator of everything. From your very beginning to your very end, God is with you. He will not leave you or forsake you. That's the promise of Scripture. That's the promise of this psalm. That's the promise of our life.